Hey millionaires, welcome to the Millionaire Money Podcast, episode 1. My name is Toyin Crandell, and I am going to be your guide in this journey to your first or 100th $1,000,000. Now, let's start out by talking about you for a second. You are a business owner or a career professional. You have worked for many years. You've earned a lot of money over the years, but you're not seeing that money work for you in the highest way possible. You know that there's more. There's more to life than just working and paying your bills and just seeing another day and another month. You know that you are capable of more, and you are ready to prove it to yourself. You've been hearing all this talk about generational wealth and creating a legacy, and you've tried a lot of the suggestions that you're reading about on Google about skipping the lattes and cutting out any fun from your budget until you're debt-free or you're a millionaire. But you can see that obviously those things aren't actually making you a millionaire. Your finances are simply not shifting as quickly as you want them to. Meanwhile, you know that your calling is waiting on you to get the money part dealt with so that you can actually focus on the stuff that matters the most to you. Like for you, money is not your end. Living your life, doing what you were put on this planet to do is what you are really after. And I agree with you. I genuinely believe, guys, that you are not meant to work for money. Money is meant to work for you. And I am going to be very honest with you. A lot of what you're reading about on Google about building financial freedom or becoming a millionaire is complete BS. And that is why I decided to do this podcast, because I am watching people waste years trying all these whack strategies. And yes, I said whack, guys. And what breaks my heart the most about this is that not only are they wasting their time, they're wasting their money, but they actually stay stuck their entire lives. In this show, we are going to talk about what works and what is a complete waste of time. We're going to talk about how you can blow the ceiling off of your earning power, whether you are in a job or you're running a business. We're going to talk about how you can keep, save, and invest money, even if you have hot pockets. And y'all know what I mean when I talk about hot pockets. It means money doesn't stay with you long. Random things always happen to take it away. We're going to talk about how to leverage your positive financial momentum to create a long-term shift and wealth for yourself, for your family, to leave a lasting legacy. We're going to talk about how to stop making bad financial decisions that lead to overspending or under-earning and just generally sabotaging your financial goals, even if you have flopped and failed yourself many times financially over the years. We're going to talk about how you can be able to travel where you want and get the things that you have waited years for without having to feel guilty about it, even if you have been stuck in overworking and survival mode for decades. And finally, we are going to talk about how to take control of your finances and shift out of I always have just enough to more than enough to give and to grow. And we're going to talk about how to do all of this without working a crazy amount of overtime, changing your business model, or starting from scratch. Putting yourself, oh my gosh, another one, putting yourself on such a strict budget that you're not able to live at all. So let's start here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey and why you need to listen to what I'm going to be sharing with you in this podcast. Specifically, I'm going to share with you about how I discovered the shift that you are going to need to make your first or your 100th $1 million. Now, a few years ago, guys, you could not pay me to talk about money. If you had told me that I would be running a podcast called Millionaire Money, first of all, I would have said, amen. But then also, I would have actually laughed in your face because, first of all, I was afraid of money. I mean, I never actually have admitted it, but I avoided the conversation of money as much as possible. And now, just hear me, guys. My parents actually tried. They tried to teach me financial principles. They had us investing when we were still children. They even put their own money in our own investment accounts. Do you know that my relationship with money was so bad that I took out that money and spent all of it as soon as I could. Y'all, just so you understand where I started and where I'm coming from. I ran a business when I was 16 years old to 18 years old. I made $150,000. That is a dream income for any student. Meanwhile, my actual tuition was fully covered in scholarships. And still, I graduated from university with tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Y'all, I had to work hard to spend enough money to build that level of debt graduating from university when I had scholarships and that business. And it sucked. You know, for years, I was so stuck completely. I thought I would never become debt free. But then I did. I became completely debt free. I figured it out. And I thought that that was all that I needed to know about money. Little did I know that when you have a limiting belief about building wealth or even about having money, period, even if you are debt free, and half of our clients are debt free, so y'all understand me. Even if you are debt free, you will find a way to earn less so that you can remain in struggle. And that's exactly what I did. I had gotten married to, first of all, I struggled financially single. Then I got married to an amazing dude and we struggled financially together. And we were doing a ton of ministry work. We were serving in the community, you know, but we didn't really notice that we were struggling financially. We lived in a tiny basement apartment. We had an air mattress for a couch. We had that air mattress for a year until a friend of ours sat on it with their car keys in their pocket and literally popped our couch. You know, in our bedroom back then, you had to walk sideways to get around the bed, to get to the closet and get clothes out. But we were genuinely very happy. So I figured all was well. I mean, we've got love, we've got joy. Who needs money? Until I had my first wake-up call. It was December 2016, and back then we had a 6-month-old baby girl, beautiful baby girl, and I was nursing her. And my husband was giving me like some of the last of our food. I kind of knew, but I didn't really think about it. So I was eating some canned food, and it was like, I'm going to be fed up. I'm going to feed our baby. And my husband wasn't in the room. And so I just reached out to him and I was like, hey, babe, where are you? Come in the room. And he's like, oh, I'm eating in the kitchen. Y'all, like the whole apartment was like beside each other. So I'm like, why are you over there in the kitchen? Come over here. The kitchen was like the hallway. Come in the room. Let's eat together. And he comes in the room and he's empty-handed. And I said, what are you eating? And he said, oh, I'm eating chocolates. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? He said, I'm eating chocolates. And he's like, Toyin, we're out of food. And so it's evidently he had been giving me the last of our food because I was feeding the baby and he was eating these chocolates. And it wasn't even chocolates that we bought, guys. It was December of 2016. And so it was chocolates that we had got from our friends for Christmas. And that was my first wake-up call. That was the moment that I was like, oh, we're struggling at that level. And that was when I decided, okay, I need to take this whole money conversation very seriously. So I did. I invested in my very first coach, I remember, and I decided I was going to learn some business strategy. And I did that. I had my first $7,000 month and I was like, guys, it's over. Like I've had $7,000 in a month. We about to do this every single month. It's done. The laugh, the struggle, all of that is finished. It's over. And then the next month I did the same amount of work. Nothing came in. The next month, same thing until the $7,000 was done. And then I had a $5,000 month. And then nothing until the $5,000 was. I said, okay, there's a problem here. Something's going on. But I still hadn't fully woken up. It literally got so bad, guys, that we ended up becoming homeless. We moved 7 times in 7 months. We ended up squatting and staying with my sister for some time, staying with my parents for some time. And then an auntie from church took us in for months. It was just, thank you, auntie, because you're probably listening to this, cheering me on. Thank you. But like, we just hit rock bottom. And in the middle of this, we ended up actually losing a baby I had a miscarriage because of the stress that we were under and that I was feeling. And in that season, I had met a leadership architect because I was like, something's up. I need to learn. I need to figure out where I'm limiting myself. So I meet this leadership architect. He had a session where he showed us this chart. And the chart literally said struggle, survival, sustain, success, significance. And he asked us where on the chart we were. At that time, I was definitely in struggle. And I just started to think to myself, and I'm like, Toyin, how can you lead other people into a place of significance if you are in struggle? You know, I remember that month, we had to email and call our friends and our family just to cover our rent. And guys, I was just fed up. I was exhausted. I was frustrated. I felt stuck. And that's what I hated the most. This was not the abundant life that God had spoken over me or my family. And part of why I was holding myself back financially was because I was so used to needing God to provide everything, like our daily bread, like daily, that I thought that if I had more than enough financially, I would actually lose my close relationship with God. And that wasn't acceptable to me. But neither was not being able to pay our rent and being in this place where it was affecting everything. So I finally broke and started to lean in and listen to what he had been trying to tell me all along. That month, I created a process to shift how I thought about and used money. I created a process to completely eradicate, finish, throw away the fear of money that I had and a bunch of other limiting beliefs that I had about myself, about business, and about money. Guys, it changed everything. The next month, we earned more in that month than we had earned all of the previous year. The next year, we 8 times that income. The year after that, we 5 times that income again to finally hit the $1 million mark cumulatively. And then the year after that, we doubled our income again. Y'all get the point. I could keep going. But I literally used the same process every single year for my mind to shift to the next level. Today, we are multi-millionaires with 8 streams of income, investments, real estate properties, and a freedom to go where we want, when we want, to be able to give to the causes that we care about at a level that we could never have imagined. So I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. Listen, in 4 years, we went from homeless to owning a dream house by the water, beautiful enough for our friends to get married in, plus 2 rental properties. We went from 1 stream of income that was not a stream. It was a dried up desert. We went from that to 8 streams of cash flowing income. We went from unable to buy food from Walmart, searching for loose change in our car to get gas, to being able, because to go to H&M because our children are about to do a photo shoot and select our outfits not based on the price tag, but based on the color and the style. And is this what the people are looking for? Listen, I didn't even look at the price. I didn't know how much we had spent until we got home. Now, mind you, I wasn't trying to ignore it. I actually had an appointment at the same time, so my mind wasn't there. But the point is, like, that could never have happened. For food, I used to need to look and count and calculate in the store. We had not had a vacation in 7 years. We were able to not just go ourselves, but take his parents and some of our friends along with us for our first international vacation as a family. We've been able to go every single year since, multiple times, including going to Ukraine to immerse ourselves in the home of one of my millionaire mentors that triggered our success. But guys, it's been so much more than the money. In the middle of this ridiculous level up, I have been able to take 6 months off of my business. Do you guys hear this? We were timesing our revenue while I took 6 months off of my business 3 years ago to do something that I'm just very passionate about. I took 3 months off of my business 2 years ago because we needed to take care of family that needed our help. I took 4 months off of my business just last year to do something that I am super passionate about. We are living with rest and ease and flow. Hear me, guys. Money is meant to give you the freedom to go out there and live your life. We have given more money than we could ever have imagined. Amounts that I used to journal and dream about. And we've seen the fruit of that giving in the ministries and the families that we've sown into. And we still, this is the biggest thing that blew my mind, guys. We still love and serve Jesus. Like, that's just my faith. I don't care what your faith is, but this is me as our number one. And in fact, we've been able to do more for the kingdom of God than ever before in our lives because we are no longer limited by the finances. Now, I have shown this process to literally thousands of people who have been able to scale their income, their revenue by tens of millions of dollars and pay off millions of dollars of debt. And that's just based on the numbers that people have actually reported back to us. Most of them just carry their success and go. And they will randomly message me years later. Like a client of mine recently just messaged me, Milana. Hey, Milana. And she's like, oh, by the way, Toyin, I'm completely debt free and I got my dream house. And it was just like, hey, okay, right? But that's what I'm talking about, guys. And it's like years later, we get to hear the way that they are implementing and shifting over and over again. So here's the deal. I've spoken on countless podcasts. I've spoken at events. I've shared my journey on other people's platforms. And for the first time, I have decided to share the most powerful shifts that myself and my clients had to make in order to co-create this shift with God in this podcast so that you can learn and shift just like we all have. Listen, people, if you even so much as like yourself, if you just like yourself, I would go and find the subscribe button or the follow button or the whatever button is on the podcast streaming platform that you're listening to or watching right now. Subscribe right now because we are about to shut things down, period. Oh, and you also want to make sure that you share this thing with people that you love. And I mean this, guys, like the ones you really love. Do it now. And I'll tell you why. Because friends don't let friends stay stuck financially while they shift. The month that I decided I am going to become I'm going to be stuck like this all this time, I literally made this decision. I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. Guys, I didn't become a millionaire in a year. I became a millionaire in 3 years. I'm not complaining. But I say that to say I text messaged my friends in that moment. My friends know this. I messaged them, a bunch of them, and I said, hey guys, guess what? You've seen me struggle. This month, I had to call you to ask for help for rent. But I'm about to be a millionaire in a year. Who's coming with me? That's the stuff that you do when you really care about your people. So I'm saying all that to say share the podcast because it's not okay to just shift by yourself. I am going to be sharing cutting edge strategies for identifying the limiting beliefs that you have about money, ending the self-sabotage that is keeping you stuck wherever you are, whether you have millions of dollars or you're in the negative. Our clients have been able to get $90,000 raises, $22,000 raises, $45,000, $47,000 raises, $28,000 launch in a new business, a $98,000 first 2 months of full-time business, $75,000 debt paid off in 6 months, becoming debt-free, first $1 million year, while taking a month off of her business and purchasing her dream home, a $20 million launch, paying off over $200,000 worth of debt in 2 years. Same person, same business, different mind. Rest, ease, and flow. So I want you to think right now, I want you to think about what would it be like for you to have that ability as well? What would it be like for you to 10 times, 5 times, 20 times your income, instead of having to just cross your fingers or keep slaving away, earning money and watching it fly out of the window, instead of having to Stay away from buying your children ice cream until you're debt free, because that's what some people are out here trying to tell you. Instead of working morning until night, not seeing your family, not spending time with them because you're so busy trying to create a legacy for them. What if you have a process that can help you begin to work smart instead of only working hard? That is the process that we are going to uncover in this show. So I know that this is a lot, but through this podcast, I want to transform the way that you think about money, about your calling, about your lifestyle, your freedom. I'm here to challenge your perceptions of what is possible. And I know that what we've been able to help our clients do can sometimes sound crazy. Shoot, sometimes even me myself, I am shook. Because these dramatic results are real. And these people are real people who thought that life could never change because they had been so stuck for so long until they stopped using Band-Aid strategies and fixed their real money issues. Here's the thing. Everybody on the planet, well, most people, can Google what to do with money. Conventional wisdom tells you work hard, earn a living, save your money, you'll be wealthy. Yet, in Canada, RBC Bank says 75% of Canadians are in debt. And those of you who are American, don't laugh. There's another study that says that 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It is not working, guys. And yet, there are a handful of people who are truly building wealth, getting rest, creating a new legacy without having to skip the lattes or live on rice and beans. Guys, the financial landscape has changed, and it is changing. The job market has changed. Investment markets have changed and is changing. I want to save you years of your life and money that is currently slipping through your fingers and show you how to begin to make it start working for you so that you can have your first or 100th $1 million. Guys, common wisdom will keep you common. It'll keep you stuck. Anyway, that's what you can expect from me. Real, raw truth about how we transformed our lives and that of our clients by transforming how we think and creating a real strategy for financial freedom. The bottom line is this. There are some major shifts that you need to make if you want to create your first or your 100th $1 million. And if that's something that you need, subscribe to this podcast and tune in to every single episode, because we will be blowing up the foolishness and challenging a lot of the myths that are keeping people stuck financially. Plus, as y'all already can tell, we are going to have a whole lot of fun while we do that. So that's what's in store for you in the Millionaire Money Podcast. My name's Toyin Crandell. I'm the founder of Money Mindset Shift, and I will talk to you all next week, Wednesday. See you then. Hey millionaires, thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you want to subscribe, there's a little picture of me right here, so you can go ahead and click on that. And if you want to have a free financial breakthrough session with my team, then you can go on ahead and click on the button right here or visit moneymindsetShift.ca/call. I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.